All right, so what we're going to look at today is focusing on finding the shortest path between any two nodes. Now remember, a path is one where we don't visit the same node again. And the shortest path is essentially the one which has the least added up weights along the edges. Okay, so the way to go about it is we're going to use this algorithm called the Dijkstra's algorithm. Okay, we're not going to use it in its complete formality. It's a very complicated, well, it's a very advanced computer science course, computer science algorithm, but we're going to use it a bit less formally in a very simple way. Algorithm, I cannot spell. All right, essentially what we do is we take our start node that we want, all right, and we find the closest nodes to it, okay? Whoa. And we keep finding the distance to the closest nodes, and we kind of like go further and further away until we reach our target goal. All right, until we find the distances to all the shortest distances to all of the nodes on the graph. Okay, and therefore we can easily find where what the shortest distance to the target is. I think the best way to go about it is to show it with an example. That's why I have something set up over here. So if I say that my start is at A and I want to find the shortest distance to F, okay, I want to finish at F. So the way we go about it is we go, okay, the shortest distance from A to B is obviously going from A to B directly with a weight of 1, okay? So let's say A to B, the shortest possible distance, is equal to 1. Similarly, the shortest distance from A to D is to go from B to D, all right, which is 1 plus 2, which is equal to 3. Okay. Similarly, the shortest distance from A to C is via D, okay, which is 3 plus 2, which is 5. Now the shortest distance to E, right? I have two options here. I can either go from A to B to D to E, or I can go from A to B to E, whichever one's smaller, all right? So in this case, A to B to E is 1 plus 6, 1 plus 5, 6. If I go with D through D, then it's 3 plus 7, 10. So it's better to take this route, which gives me 1 plus 5, 6. And then the shortest path from A to F is simply 6 plus 5, 11. So essentially, you literally kind of basically brute force this, right? And just find the shortest distance to each of the node, all right? And if you find a shorter distance to, for example, there was some other node that you visit after F, right? So let's say there was some node here, G, connected to D, all right? Even if I go to F first and then I go to G, I can see that, okay, I have updated it, all right? I can look at, like when I find that G is closer to F than E is, I can go ahead and update that. That's not a problem, all right? Not a problem at all. So basically, again, to reiterate, you just brute force it, try to find the closest distance to all of the nodes as you go further and further away from it. And that is really what you should have in mind when you do this. And once you're done with all nodes, it's important to do all nodes because you can, like I said, update things as you go. All right. So once you do all nodes, then you can easily return whichever one you were looking for, right? Whichever finished node you're looking for. And that's really all there is to it. Another thing we're going to be looking at today is called a shortest connection problem. All right. Which is essentially, we're trying to find a spanning tree. Remember what a spanning tree is? A spanning tree is one where we have all nodes connected via some path, okay? Again, there can't be any cycles, and there needs to be all nodes being connected to each other. So we have to find what's called the minimum spanning tree, which is the spanning tree with the least total weight of the edges, the least distance, whatever you want to call it. The way to go about finding a minimum spanning tree is to start with any vertex. Doesn't matter what vertex we want. Let's start with A, for example. Okay, now join this with this nearest vertex. Okay, if there's two equal ones, doesn't matter. Just join it, go ahead. Okay, just choose one of them and join it. Now, you find the nearest vector or nearest node to either of those vertices. In this case, the nearest node is D, which is closest to B. So we add this into our minimum spanning tree. Now, we find the nearest node to either of those. Any of those we've collected so far. In this case, it is C because it has the weight of 2. Now, we're going to do that same process again. We need to include something else, and we find the one that's closest to any of our nodes we've seen so far. In this case, that one's E because it's closest to B with a weight of 5. All right. Now, similarly, and I'm going to find the node which is closest to any of the nodes we've seen so far. In that case, that is F. And once you get all your nodes in here, you can stop. That's all there is to it. It's literally very simple. You go pick a node, any node, find closest vertex, and then find closest vertex to any already seen. Okay, so any of them that you've already collected, and keep doing this process again and again until you're done. It's really simple. Okay, not much more to it. Just keep applying that and you'll be fine. No worries. Okay, and again, the best way to go about it is to practice a lot and make sure you understand what is happening. But it's really an algorithm. You just plug things in and you get things out. Okay, very simple. So good luck, and if you again do have any questions, feel free to ask. Hey guys, two things. If you do have any questions regarding the content we just covered, just go ahead and drop that in the comments. I'll make sure to get to that as soon as possible. And secondly, if you like the video or if you got anything that was useful from it, make sure to check out the website, Prep Folders. There's so many more videos like this, so many more resources, practice questions and all the lot. So just go ahead and have a look. If you need help, there's some tutors and mentors there as well. So just have some fun over there. And yeah, we'll see you on the other side.